National Bank. Here for you.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep this going. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate, come let your rhythm flow.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so we are back with you for another segment of our Activated Mornings program here on WEFM. In studio, it is Dianna Cain, Dr. Gerald Thompson, and myself, Roleza Samuel, and we are your hosts for this morning. All right, now I know that we had an interview scheduled for this morning with Honorable Sinclair Prince. Unfortunately, he is unable to make it. All right. So we are going to have to try to reschedule that interview. So the interview scheduled for this morning with the Minister of Health and the ULP's candidate for Marco, we are going to have to reschedule as he's unable to make it today. All righty. So Doc, how are you and what's up?
You know, I had a great weekend. Wonderful.
Tell.
Of course, I attended a couple of the candidate selection processes, including that of Jimmy Prince. But you know what? I had an opportunity to go and visit my good friend Jeff Lampkin in the hospital. And I'm really wishing him the very, very, very best in recovery. And, rather than going on into other things, I think that's probably the most important thing I wanted to say in this introduction.
Okay. How were the candidate selection? Well, it was two that happened on the weekend. It was Jimmy Prince and Kisel.
I think that this came about because of it being back to school day today. So they didn't want an event the day before going late into the night, and they had to clean up the school for the next morning. And so they did it both on Saturday.
Oh.
So Giselle Peters, nearby in terms of Lomans, West
Pointing
Kingstown.
in the wrong direction.
Huh?
I say you're pointing in the wrong direction.
No, I pointed there.
That's still wrong. It's still.
No.
Now West Kingstown?
Yes, West Kingstown.
Yeah,
So
that's my constituency.
I know, but if you look out this window, you look into the sea. You look into the sea.
Well, if you point, so you're pointing to Kettles and Clare Valley.
No, I'm pointing this way. If you notice behind us, if you stand up on the hill, you're looking over to where the folks from Bottom Town and so came to Lomans, and you're looking right over Lomans. Let me tell you something. I know my geography. You know what I mean? No, the point I'm making, everyone, we're in the studio and you are facing north. I am facing south. I am facing south.
Yeah, Doc he's actually correct. The way in which he pointed his hand would be this way. So but I'd rather stay out of it.
But
so you have to deal with that.
For you, pointed that way, you're pointed into the sea.
No, because
West Kingstown is not in the sea.
I know you're pointing in that direction. So in my mind, if you point that way, then you're pointing towards the direction of West Kingstown. But if you point that way, to me, you're pointing in the direction of South Leeward or whatever other constituencies.
Listen, South Leeward is next to West Kingstown.
Yeah.
But South Leeward, if I go this way, if I go this way, I'm going South Leeward. Matter of fact, Rocher
but
Bay,
West
Camden
Kingstown
Park
ends all the way back so.
No, listen,
All
you're
right,
still pointing wrong.
All right, all right.
pointing wrong.
To y'all,
All
and
right,
you're cutting
yes.
the points.
Let's
Okay.
All right, okay.
All right.
Later on, you'll realize
Let
that.
us continue. Let's continue this off air.
But the theme that was coming out at both entities was the candidate who was up against these individuals. Of course, Jimmy Prince being an incumbent, right? And Kithel being a challenger. But it was being pointed out some of the confusion and the internal conflicts and the little bit of warfare that's not only coming out from the supporters, but also for people who know what's going on the inside, what's happening on the inside. There's this sense of laziness. There's this sense of not really performing even in opposition, and the sense that, well, I'm in opposition so I could do nothing. And who was challenging in the case, like Philip Jackson worked in my ministry for many years. I know him very well, intelligent guy, but unfortunately, has some strange thinking and policies, right? And Jimmy Prince seems as if, as an incumbent, he is going to win. But at the same time, in terms of somebody like Daniel Cummins, where people say the prime minister is aged, these individuals are not too far off from the prime minister's age, whether it's Leacock, whether it's Cummins. So it's those sort of things that were coming out, really showing the disorganization and so within
these conversations happened or were discussed at these selection meetings.
You know something. These selection meetings are all publicized. If you hear them live,
I was looking for them. I was looking to see if it was live though, but I didn't see anything. Well, maybe it's when I tuned in, I don't know.
These things were supposed to be live, but you see snippets coming out. The young lady who is the senator from, she's from Massachusetts. Is it Raquel? No, Raquel. Shaquel.
Bob. Okay.
Bob, yes. I saw her presentation this morning. You know what I mean? So things come out at different times, but if you miss the live, there'll be.
I don't think it was. I don't know if maybe it was on radio, but I looked for it on the Facebook page, but I didn't see anything. But at the time that I looked, so yeah. All right, go ahead. Something that you said. You were doing. It sounded like you were doing a contrast between Philip Jackson and Honorable Sinclair Prince, right?
No, I was pointing out to you what was coming out from the Prime Minister's presentation, from Jimmy's presentation, from
I suppose my question with regards to what you did there, what you said there is, what on the ground effort, I suppose, would you or would anybody be looking to see from Philip Jackson as a first timer? And in comparison to what Jimmy Prince has done, I think Jimmy Prince has been there for 10 years?
I think.
When we do a comparison, what exactly do we want to see coming from Mr. Jackson?
I was going rather globally. In the few seconds that I knew I had to present, I couldn't do a whole presentation, but we could bring up the article that was in Eyewitness News about Terence Oliver, who has probably represented that constituency for 4 terms. And what I was saying to you about being in opposition, what they said, his candidacy was laziness dressed up in campaign colors. I didn't write that. Now, I don't know who actually wrote it, but they were saying representatives who show up, listen and work. That's what they want, but not just when the cameras are rolling, or funerals, graduation, or the ballot box is near. Consistently visible and Well, a couple other things.
Do you think the same thing could be extended to some persons on the ULP side about them thinking that they have safe seats?
It is true, but I think what they're saying, I remember when I was in opposition in the late 90s, I did form youth groups. I did sit down with people. I did have conversations and so forth. I think that there is, to some extent, you're hearing this guy, Travis, Harry. You're even hearing Bing. You're hearing the Cutlass. They're all in video clips.
Who's the Cutlass?
Well, let's just leave that. I'm not going to say. Stephen Joachim. Stephen Joachim.
Oh, I would not have known who that was. All right. Okay.
I don't want to spend time with who is that and so forth. That'll just soak up time. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you a listing of examples. All these people who recently have come out that the NDP is lazy, that the Friday's gone away, whether it's to raise some funds, but it gone away to the graduation, that the $100,000 they promise to give to students in the Grenadines as a result of damage, they haven't fulfilled it. I don't know if they have done. Somebody might come and say, yesterday they gave out bursaries and so forth to the kids and things like that. But all these things are coming up, that there's this frank, hardcore laziness that threatens the whole concept that seats are, in fact, a safe seat. But in truth, they may well be challenged. I'm not talking about a seat where somebody won by less than 50 votes, or one vote and so forth. I'm not talking about those are always marginal. I'm talking about seats that are considered safe, like the Southern Grenadines, in which this particular person in this article in Eyewitness News is damning Terence. I know Terence is a little sickly. I know you always had to leave and run out and so forth for various things. And I don't know the reason. And I'm not bringing up any medical thing here right now. But I have realized that as I have aged, I remember when I was the youngest candidate within that whole structure, in the late 90s, 2001, I was the youngest candidate. Now I am a lot older, I'm elderly, but you could see that these other individuals, Leaker, Cummins, Friday, are also elderly too. And that there's been a dramatic change within the Unity Labour Party in terms of, imagine somebody we had, Camilo Gonzalez.
But okay, so they quote unquote elderly, but they have never been in power, as opposed to somebody who is in power and is elderly.
Yes, well, I think that they belong to a particular generation. So in terms of understanding what a younger generation like you, Roleza, and you, Dianna, and the creatives and all these other persons, there are very few of them who basically, I think, would fulfill into that.
So should there be an age limit on both sides?
No, far from it. Far from it. There has to be a balance. But I'm saying to you that balance is heavily weighted in terms of the NDP.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Boy, Doc, Eddie, let's take this back up a little bit more after quotes, all right?
We reach quotes already?
We nearly reached quotes already. No, it's just something that you said, because if you're going to put age limits,
but who said age limits?
No, because it almost comes across as if you know what? We're going to take this up afterwards. You're not saying age limit?
I'm not saying age limit. What I'm saying is if persons are raising age limit, then look into the mirror.
It has to be on both sides, Doc. It can't just be on one side. All right.
Can't be on one side.
Okay. Let's end here. All right. So we are going to step on out of this time, as it is time for us to bring to you our quotes desk for today.